Hello, this is Spidey1958 and welcome to my Let's Play, The Front. This is an early access. It just came out in early access yesterday. I played around with it to learn the basics, so I'm going to try to address some things that are confusing in it and make it semi-tutorial and that. So let's go ahead and create a character so I can get out of this stupid music. They don't have a way to turn down just the music. Okay, we'll create the character. We're not going to do anything fancy here. And start. Ultimately, there's supposed to be some backstory in here about you've traveled in the past to stop a war, but there's not really much story in it yet. But it is early access, remember. You can start in, I think it's 5 places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The best place normally is probably here. You're not at the bottom of a cliff. You got access to trees. And the resources are pretty good. So we're going to start here. Now if you're playing PvP, this will probably be the most popular space, so it may not be a good place to build. So I have modified the server slightly to make things go a little faster. I've increased the gather rate and increased the damage against NPCs because they hit really, really hard. I haven't reduced their damage. I've just made your damage a little bit more on par with their damage. So let's go ahead and get in. This initial episode, I'll probably do a lot of gathering, but ultimately gathering and even crafting, some of it's going to be off camera. Okay. So I really suggest you follow the task tracker up there. It gives you a list of things to do. And one of the things it will give you is the ether shards, which are sort of the currency in the game. And it's sort of important. Later technologies are unlocked with the ether shards, as well as a minimal level. And it's also what use that to power the device that lets you get followers converted over to you. Okay, so we've completed the first one. We got a little experience. We're going to go ahead and craft an axe. And then craft a pickaxe. Okay, so the next thing it wants us to do is gather 30 wood and 30 stone. So let's go chop down a tree. And I'm now level 2. So it wants me to build a foundation. Eat a little berries there. Keep our hydration and food up. This will give us stone and lead ore, which is fine. Here's one that's just stone. Complete another one, got some experience. Okay, so let's go ahead and figure out where we're going to build our base. someplace relatively flat, which there's several good flat areas around here. Sort of like close to the water for fishing. So let's go ahead and build it around here. So the first thing we'll do is build a sleeping bag. So tab will take us to build. Select sleeping bag and away we go. Okay. Put it down, and that gives us a respawn place. Also took us to the third level. Okay, the other things here on the tab, this is our crafting menu. It will grow as time goes by. It's right now set for everything we can craft. This is our inventory. As you can see, we have some inventory slots here. This is the tech tree. So the early tech, all you have to do is make the level. So I have to be level 3 to unlock the spear. So we're unlocking the spear. We'll have to be level 4 for this. As we go down low, you're going to need those shards in order to unlock stuff. But every once in a while when you go up a level, you need to go look in here and see what you have to unlock. No vehicles until 16th level. No gear until 5th. We got the bonfire. It's 9th before we learn how to do grilled fish. And no tech until 6. So it sort of eases you into things. So the next thing we want to do is go ahead and build a foundation. We need 4 of them actually. I don't know if I have enough wood to build 4 of them. You got to be careful on these quests because you have the wood foundation and the 2x2 foundation. If it tells you to build something, it won't count if you build the 2x2. So be sure you build the... Looks like I need more wood. So we'll start that crafting and get more wood. Boom, 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 boom. If people have specific questions about the game and that, leave them in the chat. I will try to answer them. I have played a fair amount of this both yesterday when it came out and before that in one of the betas. So the basics I have down. Yeah, so I'm pretty much know the game until we start getting into like tanks and helicopters and vehicles and that. So there are a couple things that aren't intuitive in the interface on how to do, but it's not a big deal. I'll show you how to do them and then you'll know. I like the game a lot. It's definitely showing some signs that it's just out in early access. But it's a very playable game at this point. They've already addressing in a patch that's coming out in the next few days one of the major complaints about it, which is a very valid complaint. There's no way to remap keys, but they promised within the first 48 to 72 hours they would have that. They've already added it to the menu. They just haven't enabled the option yet. So, and they've addressed some others in the first patch already. So I think the worst of the glaring stuff will be fixed probably really quickly. There's no reason to pick up mushrooms quite yet. We don't have the technology to actually cook or make mushroom soup. Also, you can't pick stuff up. All you can do is destroy it, which gets you some of the resources back, but I don't think all of them. Okay, craft another one of those. Okay, so you can adjust the height by doing this. up and down. I like a little height off the ground. And this is set up for semi-MMO PvP. So when you first build something, it's weak and it will slowly repair itself up to full health. There is a bug low right now. If you end the game before it's repaired itself all the way up, it won't repair itself farther. So, okay. So there we've completed that one. Now it wants us to make a flag to mark our territory. Just take some wood, stone, and fiber. In PvP, this also marks your area, though the flag doesn't give you any protection. Later things you build will actually give you a protection where your base can only be attacked for so many hours out of every 24. I think the lowest is 3 hours out of 24, which is a good way to do it, I think, if you're for people who play like Rust and stuff like that. And that, you know how people wait till you're out the base. And that, this way you'd only have to be on for 3 hours to protect your base, and the base wouldn't be attackable during the other hours. I think it's a much better way to do it. But that's just my opinion, and I'm not a fan of PvP. So this server setup is PvE. I am just playing as a single host server rather than a dedicated. I may set up a dedicated and do a multiplayer version of this later on, but right now I just want to get out the semi-tutorial let's play type stuff to help people get up to speed. I'm just gathering resources here. Next it wants a bonfire. You don't have to worry about the trees hitting you because they don't actually fall. It's just an animation. And I broke my axe. So all we have to do to fix it is click on it here. You can either hit R or click the R and it will repair it. It will take a few seconds. And now it's repaired. And then you can just equip it again and continue on. There's a sickle you can build in the game, but I haven't noticed that it makes much difference for gathering. If it does, it's a very small difference. And we're level 5. So let's go ahead and unlock some more stuff here. So we can unlock the crafting table here. Here we get the bow and the stone knife. Here we get wooden doors and the wood box. Still no vehicles. We get wood armor. We get nothing under supplies yet. And nothing under tech. You can actually just gather resources to build up levels, but completing those quest items is your best source outside of raiding POIs for the ether shards. And you're going to need a lot of them to unlock everything. And yes, this game you can, as your technology tree, build helicopters and tanks and stuff like that. They have a fairly aggressive plan of stuff coming out over the next year, which is on their website if you want to see it. It's also on Steam. So people let me know if they're interested in seeing a multiplayer Let's Play or stream of this, or if they're just interested in seeing me stream it rather than these tutorials type standalone episodes. But okay, let's go ahead and build a bow. A spear. A stone knife. And some arrows. Let's start with 10. Which will actually, I believe we get 2 arrows per build. Yeah, so that'll give us 20 arrows. So now that we have that, let's go chase down the bunny rabbit. Ooh, there's a couple bunny rabbits over here. There is drop on the bows. And I'm a horrible shot. There, I got one. And the way you do it is you just go up. You usually have to crouch. So just hit Control to crouch and just stab at it, and that will harvest the resources. Let me change something here. I guess there's no, I thought there was a way for me to change it to not show all of them. It fixes itself automatically when you log out and back in. But right now, as you can see, the gathering shows up in the middle. Okay. And if you see the little icon, the red icon with the sunlight thing, that means it's a hot environment, so I'm using water more. Okay, so let's build our little bonfire. Okay, we'll put it down. Put it down here in this corner. You can see that that green circle was the radius of our stuff. So, and we get a few wood in there, so let's go ahead and throw our meat in here. Activate it and tell it to cook up all the meat. You can currently drink the seawater without any negative effects, so I don't know if that's going to change or not. Okay, next it wants us to craft a crafting table. So I think next what we're going to do is actually go ahead and build the building to put it in. So I want, how big do I want to make this? Let's make it a, we'll make it a 3x3 for now. We'll probably make it bigger or build a different building. But that should give us big enough to start. So we're going to need 12 walls. Okay. And crafting doesn't seem like much time for an individual, but when you're crafting a bunch of stuff, it does seem to take a while. Okay, so we need to do a doorway. So the way you do that is if you hold down the right-click button, you can then click on what you want it to be. So there we have a door. We also need windows. So if we hold down this, we can select windows. It's sometimes a little finicky, but it's not too bad. Okay, and we just need normal walls now, so we'll hold it, select it, and hold this down to give us normal walls. And while it's working on those, let's go ahead and request it to do a wood door and 3 wood windows. Oops, 3. I really like, for the initial building, I think it actually looks a lot cleaner than some of the others. I've never been overly fond of stick buildings. Door. Oh, I built the wrong thing. It's not the first time I've done that. I built double wooden doors. I don't want double wooden doors. I want wooden windows. See what I mean about the windows? You can open them and they already got a glass look. Okay. So next we want to build some roof pieces. I don't know if I have enough to build 9 roof pieces. I have enough to build 1. Time to go chop down more trees. And because this is set up for servers and that, to be a multiplayer they claim an MMO, and you can sort of set it up as a small MMO. They have dedicated servers you can play on, so. Okay. So now we can start building our roofs. And I level up again. Let's go ahead. Like I said, every once in a while I have to go in there. We now can do stone furnace and the chemist bench. We have bolos and our first firearm, the primitive flintlock pistol. And we have our add-ons for weapons, the damage intensity, which can only be added to a melee weapon, increases the damage, and the quiver, which increases the ammunition change speed by 20% for your bow. Structures, we unlock the wooden barrier and the manual miner. This is a little tricky to figure out how it works, and I'll show you once we get to that in an episode or two. Shock absorbers, bandages, wood spike, and the simple jammer. Simple jammer is the device. You can see it takes ether shards to build. It also takes ether shards to power. But it lets you take all of the most of the bad guys that can be converted over have this control collar. When you jam it, if you keep jamming it and you feed them, they will ultimately become followers of yours, which is really important for crafting, because if someone's not actually got the crafting device open, no matter what it is, it doesn't craft. So you're going to be standing there at crafting things, doing mass crafting a lot, unless you get a follower to basically take care of that for you. Okay. So we have our roofs now. So we're going to go 7 here. 8. The trick I found is you have to lay them just a little lower if you want the things to go the right direction. It's a little tricky, but once you get it down, it's not that hard, unless you're too close. And, oh, there we go. Oh. And then we're going to go ahead and hold down that, and we're going to put these special corner pieces in. R rotate stuff. And we're going to do R again, or hold down the thing. You get this little top piece. Okay, now I'm confused. Did I accidentally build something somewhere? Did I put it somewhere weird? I seem to have lost it. Yep, there it is. And like I said, you can get rid of it easy enough. Well, theoretically you can. So now we have to build another one. Oop. Seven. Top piece. And there we are, our little hut. And now we're going to build our crafting table. So we're going to set it down right here. And you can see the stuff we've unlocked. What we want to do first is make this. So we're going to have to put plant mucus, You have to have the ingredients actually in the crafting thing. And you actually have to stand here the entire time it's crafting. So we're going to go ahead and make some tape. And while that's doing it, I think we will go ahead and call this an episode. As always, if you enjoyed this episode, go ahead and give me a like or a comment. And if you disliked the episode, leaving me a dislike's fine. But please leave a comment saying why you disliked the episode. As always, this is Spidey1958, and have fun gaming.